Hi guys, my name is Dylan,
Hi, my name is Stephanie.
and today we are back to another podcast, which is the home podcast. We have heard you. Most of you all want home. Some even DM me, do home, don't do car.
I also want home.
More cozy, is it?
Yeah, more comfortable because there's a lot of distractions on the road, so I can't really, in terms of focus, I can't really focus much.
But I'm driving, ma.
But I always help you look out for, possible dangers, ma.
This is a good co-driver. Always look for me. She didn't sleep in the car. She always look out for me, so it's actually a very good co-driver. But sometimes, okay lah. Anyway, so I mean it's Christmas, so yay. So we're wearing a Christmas hat. There's lights on. Won't be distracting it, right? Okay, good. Okay, so today, I mean, actually, we wanted to talk about something very serious, despite it's holiday season, Christmas season, right? It's something that sort of initially I heard this thing for some time already, which is this private lease scheme called PLS. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room first. Okay, basically recently, there were news from CNA or whichever news that says that a lot of Singapore, there are I think 170 Singaporeans who bought properties in Medini. Medini again, by the way. In Medini's Johor Bahru, I think at a price of Sing dollar 270-ish thousand, which is near to 900,000 ringgit, at a leasehold, which is very normal, but this leasehold then is not under government, it's under the developer. Let me rephrase it. Basically, this group of Singaporeans, they are actually buying they bought this property under this private lease scheme. So mainly, for example, if I'm a developer, I have this plot of land, I lease it to you, but you're actually getting the lease under me.
It sounds to me like taiko. I'm the taiko of this land.
Okay.
Now I sell you this unit, and then I make it under this scheme called PLS.
Yeah.
So it's under these 99 years, I call the shots to this land.
Yes, you can say that. Because technically, the main difference between a leasehold property, the typical one, versus this private lease is the government, I lease this land to the developer. But the condo itself that is being built, we will issue a strata title. Strata title is actually, it means that I technically own this condo, this unit, for example, 1212. This unit, I own it. On the SMP, it's my name, Dylan, and which developer and who is the landowner. But for private lease, of course, I haven't had a chance to go through the sales and purchase agreement. But from what I know, the owner is still the developer. And the landowner is also the developer. So technically, I am leasing or renting the house from you as a developer for 99 years. Some of it I heard is 129. So I'm not too sure how it really is. So this is the main controversy that happened in Medini, Johor Bahru.
I mean, what's the group of Singaporeans' reaction?
That's why I'm actually very sad. Like, why we want to do... Okay, here's the thing. There is no legal outcome yet. It's still under the court case, so I'm not too sure who is right or wrong.
So it's under a court case.
Yeah. So basically, it may be the developer misrepresent. Agent didn't say. Agent didn't disclose that this...
Developer misrepresent? How can a developer misrepresent?
Actually, developer, technically they won't misrepresent. It's the developer's sales staff or the property agent, basically the salesperson.
But then you have to go through the signing of S&P, right? So during the signing of S&P, shouldn't there be signs already that this is something fishy or
Yeah, I think that was the confusion. Of course, I'm not in law, so I'm not too sure how it really goes on through this process. But from what I've heard, this PLS private leasing scheme, right? It's under HDA as well, Housing Development Act. So technically, then it creates a confusion. So do I own this? Because HDA basically governs, it protects me as a buyer. But now it doesn't seem like I am being protected as a buyer.
You've bought few properties, right? So do you still remember when you signed S&P? What is the front page of the S&P. I'm pretty sure the front page, if not mistaken, is the name, right?
The name of the condo.
contract.
Yeah, the name of the condo. The condo and the address, the plot, and etc. And if not mistaken, I think I have 2 leasehold property. I think I always sign a consent, if not mistaken, that it's a leasehold or something, etc. So definitely I signed something like it's a leasehold property. I'm not sure, I cannot really remember.
But then you said the agreement is between developer and
Me as a buyer.
you as a buyer.
Yes. So that is the confusion. So
Wait, the PLS is the S&P is the between the developer and me as a buyer.
Yeah.
Then it's a normal thing, right?
yeah, then because normally when we sign S&P, right, the normal lawyers, what they'll be saying, they'll bam the whole stack of paper. They will tell you this is a standardized sales and purchase agreement. You heard that before, right?
Yeah.
You
It's the
cut-
same,
Yeah.
if you search on Google, it's the same
Yeah.
thing. So
You
I'll
accompany
still go
me-
through with you.
Yes, you accompany me to sign, I think 1 or 2 of them. Okay, and you heard the same thing. I accompanied you as well. It's the same, how to say, their same phrase they'll be saying. Oh, it's the standardized one. But now then it's a
What do you
confusion.
want to say is the standardized one anyway?
Actually, it's not.
Yeah, don't assume that I already know or I mean
Yes.
it's so I feel that this statement is very unprofessional to be
Yeah.
honest.
Correct. It's like just saying, hey, you know what? You should do your homework by yourself to study, go Google online. Then I just come here to witness you signing on it.
That's very bad practice.
Yeah, and the confusion, of course, these are all conspiracy theory. Don't get me wrong. I'm not too sure about it. Okay, it may be. I'm not too sure. Developer pakat with the lawyer. For this Medini thing, I'm not too sure. If they say that, you know what, just don't disclose so much. Just try to twist and turn around. I'm not too sure. Or the salesperson, you know how property agents works, right? They are just too focused on getting the commission, and it is a leasehold. I just tell you, hey, you know what, Mr. A, it's a leasehold. It's typical 99 years, which is not wrong, but not by the government. It's 99 years by the developer. It's so much of a
But
difference.
cannot be the S&P never disclose anything special, right? I mean, it's a PLS, it's
Yeah.
a legit official name of the scheme.
Yeah.
So it can't be not being not included in the the S&P, right?
Yeah. That's why I think, because in S&P always there are so many stacks. You have, if you get a loan, you have LA, then you have loan agreement. Basically, you have 3 sets or 4 sets. I'm not sure. Then you have this LO of course with the bank. Then you have your S&P. You have your DMC, deed of mutual covenant, which is basically the house rules. You have your S&P, which is like the sales and purchase agreement. All of them, you have 3 to 4 sets, if not mistaken. All right. So it may be very overwhelming if you are the first time buying a property in Malaysia. Somehow you are a foreigner. It will be super overwhelming. Despite Malaysia and Singapore is just side by side. Basically, we are tied together by a bridge. All right. But it's so much of a difference when it comes to things like this. And just a fun fact, right? Do you know why it caused so much commotion or not?
Why?
Normal people, when they say they don't like leasehold, is because they're scared government take back their land. Okay, but actually the real thing is they're scared that when the lease deteriorates to maybe left 30 years or 40 years, the bank doesn't give them value. So now the question is, I'm very shocked. How can the bank give PLS properties, right? I lend you the loan, I give you full loan or 90% loan, 80%, I don't care, but I give you the loan, and yet I'm a tenant. You get what I'm saying, right? Let me rephrase. Basically, how can the bank allow buyers, PLS buyers, to get a 90% loan or 80% loan?
I'm really curious as to what are the panel banks available for this project.
Because the thing is, this is actually quite an old project, so we don't really know the chronology. But yeah, I mean, sorry, I think I missed out the point. The reason why people are scared of leasehold by government is because they're scared the land is being taken back. But the thing is, actually, we can renew back the lease from the government from 30 years to 99. But from PLS, right, private lease scheme, basically you cannot renew. You're not dealing with the government.
Okay, that's not what I read here lah. According to the FAQ, it does say you can renew it with the developer.
Yeah.
But my question is, it also says here in the FAQ, right?
Mhm.
It is the land is usually leasehold already from the government,
Okay.
99 years. And then under this developer now, it is acting like a taiko and introducing a new leasehold under their own scheme. So it's to me, as a layman, it's like double leasehold. So both are 99 years. Then what's the point, eh?
No, you see, just now when I mentioned that you can renew the lease, yes, you can renew. But the thing is, when I renew back my lease with the government, bank acknowledges. But if I renew back the lease with developers, bank doesn't acknowledge it. You cannot do refinancing. I have never seen such thing happen lah.
I mean, of course lah. Who are developers compared to government?
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, of course the government is more credible, right?
So unless you tell me that bank actually allows refinancing, when I renew back the lease, the value goes back up, then I think it actually solved the issue of leasehold being so scary, or PRS being so scary. But then, like what you actually said, it's a double leasehold. Why do you want to do this?
Yeah, I don't understand
Yeah.
also. Well, for what?
The only thing that I can think of, right, it's actually the developer foresee this plot of land to be maybe like the next Penang, or even better than Penang, next Singapore, example, the next financial hub. And for now, it takes a very long time, maybe 50 years, 60 years, for it to boom. So I don't want at the end of my 99 years lease to you, suddenly you say that, oh, you know what, a developer, I don't want to give you back the unit. You pay me money first, you compensate me. You do compensation, only I give you back the land, give you back my unit. So if it's a PLS, then as developer, I can say, oh, you know what, your lease is up, basically like a tenant lease up, sorry, I want to sell the land already, I want to sell this condo already, you have to leave now. You have no say. And that's the reason why PLS, right, whoever bought PLS condo, you don't have a say in your management. The management is not good lah, leave rosak lah, you cannot vote.
But the name, the house is under my name. Oh.
The house is
Why
not
can't-
under your name. PLS, the house is not under your name. The house is under the developer's name. You are just a tenant.
I thought you said the agreement is signed between me
It's
and
signed
the
between,
developer.
yes, but then maybe I'm not sure how it looks like, but from what I know, you are a tenant. You're basically like leasing this property from the developer. It's not
Means
a
my
buyer.
name is not in the S&P lah.
You can actually say so. Technically, yes, you can actually say so. It's something similar like house key Maybank. For those who are rather new, like this few years baru on AC property, right? During the COVID time, there was this very popular thing called house key. How it works, right? It's being revamped 3 to 4 times. So the main gist is, I, as a home buyer, I'm not too sure whether I want to commit to this condo or not. I rent this house. I basically buy this house from Maybank. So Maybank is actually the buyer, but it's actually leasing it to me for 5 years. Then I have the option to convert it to a conventional loan after this 5 years of rental. So if, for those who know, when a house key happens, right, normally in our CCRIS or CTOS, we will be saying, oh, normal conventional loan, it will be just a normal financing, mortgage financing, right? But when it comes to house key, in your CCRIS and CTOS, the type there, because for those who don't know, I think it will be quite deep, the type of loan, it will be called leasing loan. So basically, you are leasing this house rather than from a normal conventional loan. I'm actually getting a normal mortgage loan.
Is that a new type of loan, leasing loan?
It's sort of similar with PLS from what I know.
PRS is also leasing loan.
If not mistaken, I'm not too sure, but it makes sense because PLS is actually very rare in Malaysia. I think only one of them is Medini. Then the other that is house key. But the difference between house key versus PLS is maybe house key, they communicate this thing very well to the buyer. They already tell you this is a loan, this is a leasing loan, you can exit after 5 years. If not mistaken, I think within that 5 years, if you are shocked, you also can refund.
You know why they disclose to such detail?
Why?
It's because the FI industry, right? I mean the financial industry, they're very regulated.
Okay.
So, of course, they'll be scared. You know, when I was a banker, right? It was so frightening to do any mistake.
Yeah. Penalized, right? They always penalize.
Not just penalized. One small mistake could cost you, you know, the out of the industry permanently. Or you know, they always say this. So, I feel like, I mean, how is that not? Is it regulated anyway? PLS.
I'm not too sure. But if you say that it's really that regulated, why, you know, when the banks were to give financing, under the PLS scheme, under the PLS, why did they allow it? So then that's a question mark. That's why I don't think we have an answer to all of this, because house key you say is under FI finance, Maybank, blah blah blah. But why when it's PLS? I don't know who are the panel bankers. I'm not too sure. But why they allow it at that time?
That's why I'm really curious also, because I think not all banks are friendly to Singaporeans also, right?
Only that few lah.
In terms of that margin.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's why.
And they're very big players also. So if they participate in the projects, usually as a more layman, I'm not like to say a very avid investor in property. So to me, how I judge a condo or project is also by seeing the available panel banks in their list. So the more credible the bank, of course the foreign banks are like UOB, all that, right? In the list, the more I feel safer.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't want just Malaysian banks. I don't want just like Maybank, Public Bank, all that. I want up until maybe UOB, OCBC, all that, they participate. Then I feel like it's safer, because as far as I know, they don't really take part in every project one. The overseas banks are.
Yeah, that's why you can see like HSBC or Standard Chartered that there were some of the sub-sales that we wanted to buy. We were actually aiming for it, right? You can only see them in sub-sales market, but in projects, unless it's really premium, prime location, then they will be inside the panel bank. If not, they will just, I don't want to do your business.
Yeah, because sub-sales, you told me, is safe, they can see already.
Yes, they can value.
Yeah, they can
all this.
value.
So I think suddenly we detour a bit. We said that in order to judge whether a project is really high end or that valuable, you check the panel banks. If there are a lot of foreign banks, especially SCB, HSBC, I don't know, DBS or not, I don't know lah.
No lah.
Yeah, I think basically HSBC and SCB, they are not very
active in mortgage.
Mortgage loan in Malaysia. If they are in, I think it's a sign that it's one of the premium one. But it doesn't mean that only properties that only has Malaysian banks, it's bad. It's just that it's different kind of market segment.
It's different market
I think
segment.
From HSBC or Standard Chartered's perspective, they have more foreign client. If they were to lay longer or what, maybe it's better. I don't know.
Because the locations that they lay long in also, they take part in also, it's really valuable so okay lah, never mind lah.
Might as well, right?
So valuable already.
Yeah. Get back to the point where we say that actually PLS, the only thing that I can see is developer aim that Medini to be the next Singapore, next Hong Kong, next Penang or whatever. So I don't want to give you the authority to say no to me and ask for compensation when the lease is being deteriorated.
I'm really very curious about the entire process of the S&P signing.
Yeah.
Because as far as I know, 100 plus Singaporeans actually bought this, right? They signed S&P and no one questioned me. Cannot be,
maybe not of them. That's why I said the whole overall standard practice is so bad. First of all, misrepresentation. I think, not to judge, most likely by salesperson. They're scared to say
I think it's the lawyers
also.
Because the lawyer, salesperson can say anything. In property industry salesperson can say anything and not held accountable because it lacks regulation
It has regulation, but at the end of the day, you are the one who signed on the dotted paper.
What dotted paper?
You are the one who signed on the S&P So, for example, if I say...
but the lawyer has the accountability to explain every terms and condition to you.
Yes. So, basically, the salesperson can say, wow, this condo maybe is 60-story high, but at the end of the day, it's 40-story. But you yourself, you sign, you cannot blame the agent.
Yeah lah. So
Yeah.
the agent is I think the least, the least chance to take the blame one.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's the lawyer, because the lawyer they're expected to
They even have to
explain-
vet through first, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
definitely.
expected to explain every term that you don't understand to you, or they think that you may need to know.
Or is it because of, would it be the buyer there themselves, they didn't really go through? Or yeah,
But it's the lawyer is supposed to make them vet through or read through.
yeah, okay,
with them.
true. That's why we have to sign on every page, mark, right?
Yeah.
We have to what's the initial on every page.
Initial on every page.
Mm.
And don't let the lawyers pressure you into signing quickly.
Mm.
You have every rights to read through every line if you want.
Mm.
You have every rights.
Yes. Don't be pressured.
Yeah, and if you don't feel comfortable signing, you can just leave.
Say no. You can say no. Or you say you need some time. Just take back your S&P. Just go and vet through.
Yeah, go and vet through. Ask maybe if you have a lawyer friend or someone in law that you know.
Yeah.
Feel free to ask them also.
I'm quite sure that HDA law has been there for some time, but I'm not sure what really happened there. What really happened in Medini, because maybe PLS is a legal thing under this HDA, but the
Not
main
made
thing,
aware.
yeah, I just think that it's not being communicated properly. Like, you see why Maybank House Key doesn't have this issue? From what I see, from a layman's perspective, okay, it's the same. Just now when I was just talking, I think it's the same. House Key is also basically renting, just that the package is different.
No, but house key is different because you can exit after 5 years,
Yeah.
or you can just they can just transfer the name to you, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
it's not just straight away, 99 years I'm going to take it back, or something like that.
Okay, true.
So
And
they
house key
already-
can be a freehold property as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true. Okay.
So you already know the options, before you sign.
So basically, it's PLS. From what I think, it's legal, because definitely legal only can jalan ma in Malaysia. Cannot be not legal. You put in the S&P what?
I mean, judging by the reaction, I feel like
No, it's definitely legal. It's
then
just
why is it
not
in court
being.
case?
It's not being communicated. So imagine, right? If let's say PLS under PLS, let's say in Bangsa, okay, in the Bangsa, such a prime location where the average median price of a condo or property is 1.3 million, okay? But then under this PLS scheme that one developer managed to come out, it's a leasehold, it's privately leased okay? He is selling you at 600,000. Same spec, same condo, same location, really the heart. Would you buy? Oh, and by the way, you can rent it out.
I have to see whether the area is mostly leasehold or freehold first.
Okay.
That's my first consideration. And secondly, I have to do more research. If I'm being made aware of, before I sign of this PLS scheme, what are the consequences if I sign? What are the market demands for it? Basically, what is the consequence? Then I think.
So because PLS is lack of a lot of regulations, basically. So you cannot really confirm that whether you want to, because from what I know, actually PLS, one thing, there's so many things, right? PLS is also, you cannot, let's say touch wood that you pass on, you cannot give it to your whoever, your family members. You cannot. It's not your asset. Unlike
Because it's not under my name or what?
It's not under your name because you're technically a tenant, you are leasing. But if let's say, even though I owe the bank, like for example, a conventional loan, I owe the bank money, the loan will be passed on to, my next kin, but the property as well.
How can the loan be under my name if the unit is not under my name?
You mean the PLS?
I mean, yeah lah.
Yeah, that is the confusion that we discussed and we had earlier. That is the confusion, because I'm not too sure how it really goes, just like house key as well.
No, house key is me and Maybank.
Mhm.
Then the unit is Maybank and the developer ma.
Yeah.
So at least there's a linkage, right?
Yes.
But now, the unit is not under my name,
Okay, yes.
and I'm not sure whether the SBA has my name or not.
Correct. But the bank allows, right?
Yeah.
That was the thing that I mentioned initially. That's why I said I don't even know how this went through. And even though if this went through once, if I were to refinance it, if I were to sell it to another fella, can he only just use by cash to buy? Or can he get a loan? Because from what I know, if you were to renew a lease and the leasehold is under a private developer, the bank won't give you the lease, won't give you the value, just like what you mentioned, ma. Doesn't make sense, ma. Banks prefer government, which is more credible compared to a company, ma.
And by right, if I sell the unit, it would be also developer's unit still, ma.
Yes. That is a funny thing. So that's why informations are a bit scattered and a bit limited on how it really is, because this thing, if not mistaken, happened in 2013, 2001-ish one lah. Okay, so it was quite long ago, and now only it erupted.
Why?
I don't know. Suddenly it just became a hot topic. That's why we are discussing now. Yeah, but I mean, back to the point, right? Just now when we asked you about the Bangsa property, if for me, I think if I'm a person that I really want to stay in Bangsa but I cannot afford it, I will just buy, because I will just go for it, because why not? Because 600,000, if you were to calculate it mathematically, 35 years loan, it's only like 2006, 2007. And it's a big size, same as 1.3. 1.3 million per month installment is probably 6K to 7K per month. But now I'm actually getting to rent the house, rent or buy the house at 2.6K. So which means that if I want to stay in Bangsa with that kind of thing, that kind of specification, it makes sense for me. So I think...
I mean, after our discussion, I won't go for it lah. I mean, it's too dodgy. I don't like dodgy things.
True. I mean, what if it's being communicated properly, like, okay, this is only the worst case scenario is, let's say, touch wood, anything happen, you cannot pass it to your next kin, and you are just a tenant for 99 years. What do you buy?
Because it's not just this next of kin thing, right? It's everything that we were discussing earlier. Like, you know, why is the loan under my name all of a sudden, you know, it's just not nice, and it knocks my quota also. True.
I mean, your quota.
The whole thing just doesn't make sense. If the unit you say is still under developer, then why do I have to go through so much hassle? And in a way, it affects my financial health.
Yeah.
The report, right?
Yeah.
So, I feel like it's unfair. Like, emotionally, I feel unfair.
And
so I won't go for it.
And that's probably the reason why a lot of people are suing or doing a court case. From what I know, I think the rental is actually quite good now in Medini. I don't know what price they bought at 900,000. Probably not really good. But it's just the feeling, it's like I'm being cheated.
Actually, can you enlighten me, where is Medini at in JB? I mean, why is it so prospectful?
Actually, Medini, from what I know, like I mentioned in the previous video, I don't really know exactly where is it. But from what I know, that location is actually, it has a link bridge as well. A second link bridge that links me to Singapore, but I have to drive, if not mistaken. And previously it was the Legoland, the Hello Kitty Land, and etc. All of this. So it's actually a new township in JB. Not really new, but it's just a new township. Yeah. So to know more, we have to go and do a walk over there. So guys, don't worry, we'll be doing a walk over there soon. Because I'm really very curious. Everyone's talking about Medini as well.
And I'm also curious, why is it only in JB and not in KL leh?
As in this kind of thing happening, right?
I mean, PLS. If it's really in, under HDA, or, if it's really under the law, but it lacks regulation, why is it only in JB and not in KL leh?
Okay, even though I'm a Johorian, right, but I really think that Johor properties, especially JB properties, are very dodgy. I'm not too sure, is it because of last time there was a massive oversupply, lack of regulation over there, in general, in terms of real estate, because there are a lot of foreign developers. Mainly there are a lot of China developers over there. So I'm not too sure how is it linked to government or not. I don't want to comment on that. But just, I feel that a lot of things happens in JB market. Is it because it's being magnified? Or is it because it's memang there are a lot of problem?
Okay, if you talk about the abandoned projects, the forest city and all that, right? It's being magnified lah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because KL has a lot also. I mean, abandoned projects.
Yes.
But this PLS, I don't think it's in KL because if this thing is so hyped up right now, and if there is PLS in KL, it would have blown up also.
Yes, yes. So I think, I can quite assure that PLS only happens in Medini. There is no precedent for it. There isn't. So that's why everyone is like, there are a lot of conspiracy theory, and that's why we're doing this video as well, because there are a lot of things we don't know, but you mentioned a few things that make sense as well, like how come I get to loan under my name, but then the SPA not under my name, and then I don't have strata title as well, because leasehold, freehold, regardless, right, you need to have strata.
I think it's probably because you mentioned Singapore has PLS also, right? So I think it's because why were there 100 plus Singaporeans buying this under this scheme, right? I think it's because they thought it's the same thing in Singapore.
Yeah. I don't really know clearly, but some of them I read through a little bit. They say that HDB is under PLS as well. But then it's different because HDB, you are the owner. It's just that like government is renting it to you, that piece of land, and it will be reclaimed. That's why Singapore, they have a lot of en bloc, they have a lot of like BTO.
But this is direct, their PLS is direct with government.
Because HDB is under government. Yeah. So I think maybe that time a lot of Singaporeans weren't so educated on how Malaysia really is in terms of our leasehold, freehold. They thought it's the same. That's why I said it's such a bad thing that happened at this time because of the Johor Singapore Special Economic Zone as well.
They may potentially propose this Medini as the second economic zone.
I know one thing I know is Forest City is already, a Jay's, or I don't know how to pronounce it, but I read a lot of news. A lot of Singapore company are actually planning to set up a branch or a company in Johor. So if a Singapore company, let's say a strong financial business, right, I don't know what FI, they set up here, it will have a snowball effect, a chain effect. Some of the Australian companies as well, US company, they will say, hey, you know what, this Singapore company is here. And we are giving so much tax benefit on all of these things, right?
Tax-free,
I don't know whether it's tax-free or it's tax-free, I know, for Forest City in terms of consumer goods, right? But other things, I think they lowered the tax. Even for MM2H over there in Forest City is much lower in terms of criteria, like we mentioned in the last episode. So it's such an attractive thing. It's so big, it's being hyped up, and suddenly, just imagine if you are a foreigner who wants to buy Malaysian property, regardless in Penang, KL, Sabah, Sarawak, I don't care. How would you feel?
Damn scary.
It's very scary, so dodgy. So I really hope we have a conclusion. Just at least someone admit that.
But I think my train of thoughts earlier, the questions that I asked, right, in this discussion, I think it's quite helpful. And you can always ask your lawyer. And if they kind of dodge away your question, then you kind of know already lah. I mean,
and also
trust your gut feeling lah.
Seek for second opinion lah.
Yeah.
Just like doctors, you will seek for second opinion, right?
You can bring your own lawyer, right? To seek.
Okay, if it's a new project, I think it's very difficult because they would have packaged it. They will have plans with.
But if my lawyer, the lawyer that I bring is just like a friend.
Can by all means,
right?
can
always whisper into my ear and all
but
that.
But the thing is, like, if you want to change the panel lawyer, most of the new projects you cannot.
Yeah, so I mean, free lawyer is good lah. I mean, free legal fees, all that. Who doesn't want free stuff? But I think if you're really, very, very concerned, you can always pay a few K and then you hire
someone that you trust.
Yeah, the lawyer that you trust to go with you.
Yes, and I hope this video doesn't scare off foreigners who are just interested to invest here or to come in for a short stay, to travel, to rent a house, to buy. I would say this is one very rare case, and
I mean, scam and not to say this is a scam lah. I mean, it's still under court case.
Yeah.
Scam, this kind of things happen everywhere in every
Yes.
country. It's not just in Malaysia. So try not to magnify it also.
Yes.
It's just that we always need to take precaution when it comes to signing something officially, even
Yes.
if it's just a verbal agreement between both of us. I mean, both of us have to be very careful also
Yes,
of
yes.
the consequences and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, always have those consequences play out in your mind and see how serious are those consequences.
Yes. And one most important thing is watch my channel for a new I mean, both of us, we are basically, our personality is we stay true to ourselves. Like, if it's wrong, then we say it's wrong. If we don't know, we keep mentioning, we don't know a lot of things. It's still a lot of conspiracy theory, a lot of inputs that we don't know. So this is what we thought of, and I think that overall, don't be afraid. Just watch my channel. I mean, watch other channels as well to really understand more about what is this PLS or just about properties in Malaysia, right? Just look around, look for more articles, ask your friend, and maybe just come visit Malaysia yourself. Whoever who is interested, right? Even though you're in Singapore or Sabah or Sarawak, just come over to KL and JB to really understand more. Then only we judge by then. I think it's better lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think with that, thank you so much for watching this episode. Do join my Patreon. Okay, I just started. It's still at the beta phase, so everyone can come over to just comment, give us feedback on what I should add, what should I reduce. Am I too long-winded, or am I too not at peace?
Like, what kind of topics would you like him to cover?
Yeah.
Um,
And by the way, I'm okay for a meetup. If you guys are traveling over to Malaysia and you want to know of our thoughts because normally we do a lot of reviews on the area, man. You want to know how things works. You want to seek for a second opinion. Just talk to us. I mean, we are just treat us as your friend in Malaysia, right? And with that, thank you so much for watching, and do like, share, and subscribe. And if there's any more updates, we will update you through this channel. Thank you so much.
join his social also.
Yeah, my social. Instagram, a lot of people don't know I have Instagram. I have Instagram. Okay, my name is Dylan with I think 3 or 4 N. I'll give you the link down there. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye.